Hello and welcome back to another Color and Chat with Coloring with Haley. Today I'm going to work out of Hannah Lynn's Halloween book, Enchanted Halloween. I've had this book for a while now, and I think I've only done like one page in it, so I thought we'd do this little page today. And we are going to start out coloring the pumpkin orange. I'm going to try to maybe make her look like candy corn or something. I don't know. I have that as an idea in my mind. It is getting closer to Halloween every day. I'm excited. I don't know if I talked about this in my last video, but AMC is doing their Fear Fest right now. So if you have cable and you have the AMC channel, all month until Halloween, they have non-stop horror movie marathons until I think like 4 in the morning or something, when they normally have their little like infomercial shows on. We went over to my parents' house today and watched The Conjuring because it was on. And Doug has never seen The Conjuring before. I think it's a pretty good horror movie. I don't like a lot of, the newer modern horror movies. I like a lot of the old campy horror movies that are kind of cliche and everything. Horror movies never scared me, even as a kid watching them. The older ones are more enjoyable. Sometimes it seems like some of the newer ones are, I don't know, more about how gory they can be and how much they can torture the people than they are about, the scares and the thrills and stuff. But The Conjuring is good. It's a newer one. I mean, like, it came out in the 2000s. It is about a demon, and it's like set in the same universe as like the Annabelle movies are. It's the same people that investigated the Annabelle case that investigate the case in The Conjuring. It's a good one. It's a good modern horror movie. That and the remake of It are two really good modern horror movies. I saw the remake of It in theaters, and I really enjoyed it. Well, the first part. I haven't seen the second part yet. The second part really didn't get too many good reviews. I went and saw the first one after it was getting so many rave reviews online, because I wasn't sure how the remake was going to be. But I liked the first one a lot. I actually think I liked it more than the original. It was really good. It felt like a genuine, story about a bunch of kids, overcoming adversity. I don't know, the way the kids interacted in the remake, it felt more genuine to me as to how kids and teenagers would talk to each other and everything. But yeah, I haven't seen part 2. I actually haven't read it either. I do have all of Stephen King's books, even the ones like Rage that were taken out of print. I do own them all, but I haven't read them all. At some point I will eventually get around to reading them all. I think this Saturday on AMC is the Stephen King marathon day. Saturday is when I will be at the show, though, so I can have my parents record some of them on their TV, because, they pay for cable, and they pay for the ability to, record TV shows and stuff on it. So I'll just have them record some for us, and we can watch them the next day. I think that, The Shining and Cujo and Carrie and all of, the classic Stephen King movies are going to be on. Misery is on, I think. That's probably my favorite Stephen King horror movie. That one just translated really well into a movie. Some of them just don't translate very well. But Doug hasn't seen a lot of the Stephen King movies. He's seen Misery with me, but he hasn't seen, The Shining. So I'll have him watch that. He didn't watch a lot of horror movies before he met me, but I watched horror movies all the time. My dad would let me stay up past my bedtime to watch horror movies with him, so I have seen a lot of them. I've seen most of them. My favorite horror movie is probably Trick or Treat. Not the older one with all the rock stars in it, the newer one that pokes fun at other horror movies. It's not, like, meant to be taken so seriously. It's kind of like a parody. But that's probably my favorite horror movie of all time. I do have a little Sam doll sitting on a table downstairs. He's too big to put up here. He would take up the whole frame, otherwise I'd move him up here. I'll probably bring him up here on Halloween because I plan to film a color and jet for Halloween. Since I live out in the middle of nowhere, like I said earlier in the month, we don't get any trick-or-treaters or anything, so it would be a good time to film a color and chat. I don't have anything else to do. When I was little, we lived in town, and so I can remember going out trick-or-treating and having my parents help my aunt and uncle hand out candy, but when we moved out here to a more rural area, no one comes out here because we live on a gravel road, so everyone goes a couple towns over, and I'll try to talk, I don't know, I'll have a Halloween discussion about the costumes I used to wear and trick-or-treating and stuff on Halloween. So, you can tune in to find out more about that. And I'm going to film some parts of the show this weekend, and I'll film a haul, and I'll film my update video, and I'll probably combine it all into one video to show you how everyone's doing, how the show went, and what I got. People have been posting, you know, what they're going to be bringing to the show, different vendors and stuff, so I've been keeping my eyes peeled. Not that I need a new animal or anything like that, I definitely don't, but I do have some open spaces for some small things, so if I found another salamander or another toad that I just couldn't pass up, then I do have the space for it. Never know until we go. I need to get a bigger enclosure for one of my tarantulas while we're there, and I made like a little list of everything that I'm gonna get, so hopefully you guys will. This marker's kind of going dry, isn't it? Hopefully you guys will enjoy the video about the show and everything that I get. I plan on buying mostly a lot of stuff for the possum. Speaking of, after this video, I'm going to go make him a scrambled egg for dinner with some apples, because he likes apples and fruits are a good treat. He had ground turkey last night, so he's going to have a scrambled egg today. My week has been pretty fast, actually. We did start the literature class, and I kind of like it. We aren't really reading a graphic novel until like the last few weeks of class. Right now we are reading out of the textbook mainly. And the textbook has a lot of short stories and poems and stuff in it that are actually pretty interesting. This week's kind of were all fitting for Halloween. We read, okay, I gotta try to think of the title of some of these because we read like 6 or 7 this week. I know one of them was called A Rose for Emily. It's by William Faulkner. And I know we read one called The Story of the Hour by Kate Chopin, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. We read one called Tick. All the stories kind of had some sort of theme about relationships or marriage, but a lot of the stories resulted in some sort of twist where someone has been dead the whole time, someone dies in a horrific way. They were a little bit fitting for Halloween, I think. But the stories are actually pretty good. I'm surprised at how much I enjoyed them. I hadn't read any of them yet. I've read some short stories. You know, I have a lot of books and I have some short story collections, so I'm waiting to come across something that I have already read. But basically, for this class, it looks like we're just going to be reading a lot of short stories and poems and plays and then analyzing them. Like, what did we get out of the story kind of thing? Which isn't that bad, not that hard. Almost done with the statistics class, which I'll be ready to be over with. And it'll be nice to just have, you know, that weird period of time where I have one class. Still need to sign up for classes, but I have not gotten an email saying that the college is accepting sign-ups yet, which I think is a little bit odd. I think there might be a little bit behind on that. Usually by now I've gotten some kind of email about it, so we'll see. Okay. I'm probably going to do the stars in glitter, I think. I don't know. Let me do her hair. Okay. So this week is exciting, but not too much to talk about as for what has gone on during the week itself. Just got done all of our homework early and have just been kind of sitting around and enjoying the free time, basically. I am glad that our internet got fixed. It looks like it's going to hold up. I've been able to upload a couple videos now. I do think it might be a little bit slower, but I'm okay with that. It's not too bad. As long as, you know, they don't suddenly cut us off or anything like the previous company did, I think we'll be fine. It is getting close to the end of the year, so I'm going to have to go through all of my books again. At the end of the year, I like to go through all of my coloring books, and because I've got a little shelf over here, and I might film this. I don't know. Can't decide if I want to or not, but I need to go through them, and I need to pull off all of the books that I've never ever colored in, and there's quite a few. And I need to ask myself if I think I'm going to color in that book ever or not. And if I don't think I'm ever going to color in that book, then I need to put it in a pile. I need to donate those books, give them away, do something with them, give them to people who are going to actually color in them, you know. Because otherwise, they are just taking up room on my shelf. And I think this year, I'm going to separate the books into two big piles. Books that I want to keep, that I have never colored in, and books that I want to give away. And then, starting in 2021, I'm going to slowly work my way through the big pile of books that I want to keep that I still need to color in. And color at least one picture in all of them. I started this month, any books that I order in a month, or purchase at Walmart or whatever, I need to color at least one picture in them. If I order it and I don't color a picture in it, then, you know, what's the point? It's just going to get put in my big pile of to-do things that never get done. So I don't know, if we find that interesting, maybe I will film it, but if I decide that it's kind of boring and not that interesting, then I won't. But I do have a lot of books to go through. And I got quite a few new books this year, so I need to sit down and do that soon. Because I probably won't be ordering any more this year, or I won't be making a big order at least. I may order one or two cheaper books. You know, I don't have any winter-themed books at all, I don't think. So, if Camellia Angelkova does a 50 winter miniatures, which I'm pretty sure she's going to do, because I think she's doing all the seasons, I will order that. But those are pretty inexpensive books, you know. So I have some winter things to color on camera. But other than that, it'll probably be this month when I show off my haul. Will probably be some of the last books I order for this year, because I need to, like I said, go through and sort what I have, and then holiday season coming up, I am saving up to get myself a PlayStation 5 because I do like video games a lot. And that's what I'm gonna get. I just think the PlayStation looks a little better. And those are not cheap. I don't get all the bells and whistles, you know, I don't get the headsets or anything, I just get the console itself and, you know, games as they come out. But that is going to be my holiday gift for myself. So, yeah, I may order one or two winter books, you know, Deborah usually puts out some holiday books, so I'll probably order one from her and then the Camellia Angelkova book and then be set. Because I think that I might have like an old Christmas issue from, I don't know if that's here, there, or not. That might be part of the moon. I don't know. This here. I'm going to leave it part of the moon, I think. I do have a Christmas issue from Coloring Heaven, I think. And that would be the only Christmas book that I have. I know that that has to be the only Christmas / winter themed book that I have, for sure. I had a thought, but now I lost it. Wow. I had a thought about that, but I don't remember what I was going to say now. It's been kind of a quiet color in chat, I know. I just don't have too much to talk about this week. I wanted to talk about that, but I want to kind of save all my Halloween chit-chat for the Halloween one. I don't think I'll dress up for the Halloween video. I don't have a costume or anything. Probably just film me coloring in probably one of Deborah Muller's books. I haven't bought a costume in years. No one to dress up for anymore out here in the middle of nowhere. And, you know, maybe if I attended college, like, in person and I was gonna go on Halloween Day, then maybe I would dress up. But don't have a reason to currently. I did go to Spirit Halloween and look around, though, because I just like to look at the, decorations and stuff. They always have, like, the big animatronics and stuff out. And some of them are pretty creepy. They had one this year that was, the clown from the remake of it. And when you walked past it, it runs at you. And that was pretty creepy. That would be pretty cool to put up in your yard, but it was also really expensive. I'm not sure who has the money to put that up in their yard, but if you did, it'd be a pretty cool thing to set up in your yard, because it would definitely scare people as they walk by, since it runs at them. Kind of scared me in the store. I didn't expect it to run at me like that. Okay. Let's do the pumpkin vines this dark, too. And I wanted to pick a simpler picture this week, because I knew I didn't have that much to talk about this week. There's not a lot been going on, really. Just been preparing for the show, mostly. I'll probably film a little bit of, like, heading there and stuff, because we have to get up early. We live a couple hours away. And we always stop somewhere and get breakfast. Usually, like, a drive-through. Well, it'd have to be drive-through now, especially, but usually, like, McDonald's or Taco Bell or something. Before we head out, and, like, breakfast is usually at the halfway point. So I'll probably film a little bit of that. You know, and, like, the outside of the building and stuff as we walk up, and then we'll show you the inside, and some of the cool tables, and some of the stuff that's for sale. Like I said, some people have been posting already the animals they plan to bring and stuff, and, some people are going to have some really cool stuff. Man, if I had more money and I had more space, I would be coming home with some awesome stuff. But unfortunately, I am maxed out on space and time, pretty much. It takes me a while to feed what I have now and take care of what I have now, so I don't need anything else. Especially with the addition of the possum, who eats every night, unlike most of my animals that eat once a week, and some of them once a month. So that's a little bit different and time consuming. But I do have stuff to show you in the updates. Some of my spiders got bigger. We may do the buildings in here in black. I don't know. Yeah, some of my spiders got bigger, so that's fun. That's always cool. They molt every so often. And get a little bit bigger every so often. And since the last video, I think almost all of them have. So when you see some of the tarantulas, they're going to be bigger than they were last time. She's wearing a costume that looks similar to something that I wore as a kid, like in school. Because you always used to dress up for school. There was always a, you know, Halloween day. And you could wear your costume. And one year I went as something called Spiderella, which I think was supposed to be like a cross between Cinderella and like a Spider Queen or something, but it just had spider webs all over the dress and I thought it looked cool. So that's what I went as, and this is kind of what her outfit reminds me of. I think my outfit was red or purple or something like that. There we go. I don't know, I was thinking about making her like candy corn, but the spider idea too is not bad. I think. I don't know. Let me... Yeah, I do this... These Ohuhu markers came with a lot of purples, so we might do that. 82 is a light violet, and I might get a dark purple from the Cali Art markers. Oh, I saw recently that apparently Jade Summer is going to be redoing a bunch of their more popular books. The Chibi Girls 1 and 2 Grayscale is no longer on sale on Amazon. They took it down. And they took down the Kawaii Girls Grayscale too, which I know both of those are really popular books. So I was kind of surprised that they took them down, but they are no longer for sale. And I saw people asking about it in the Facebook group, and a few people, I guess, that work for the Jade Summer company were commenting saying, yeah, they did take the books down. You can still buy them in PDF format, but they were going to redo them and they would be up for sale again sometime next year, so I don't know if they're... I don't know, maybe they're redoing the grayscale in them, I guess. Because the way that the moderator for Jade Summer, with the little Jade Summer page icon, responded and said they were redoing them. So I guess they'd have to be redoing the grayscale, right? You would think. They wouldn't redo like all the images or anything, just the grayscale. Surely. But I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised, because the Kawaii Girls coloring book, to me, seemed like it had a very different type of grayscale than Chibi Girls 1 and 2 combined. It seemed like that was a new type of grayscale that they were premiering with that one. And to me, it seemed like all the other grayscale books followed suit of that one. So I'm not sure what they're going to redo with that book, but it has been taken down too. Yeah, I don't think they're going to redo like the types of pictures in them or anything like that. I missed some skin on her, so give me just a second. Like, I don't think they're going to bring in a new artist or anything to like redraw them. But I was shocked to see that they had taken them off Amazon. Hopefully they will get that done soon, because like I said, I know they're very popular. I know a lot of people want to buy them and color in them, and I don't know if I'll rebuy them or not. I guess it really depends what they do. If they just update the grayscale in it, then I'm not going to rebuy them. They'd have to do something pretty drastic, like change the images completely, you know, like redraw them or something for me to want to rebuy either of them. But I did see that, and it does have me intrigued as to what they're going to do there. I've gotten no idea. Maybe they're going to take them and, oh, well, we're going to go over that with a darker color, right? Separate them out, you know, make it Chibi Girls 1 grayscale, Chibi Girls 2 grayscale, Kawaii Girls grayscale, and Kawaii Fantasy grayscale, you know, make them back to being separate books. But I don't know. Interested to see what they do, but they said it wouldn't be happening until next year, so we are going to have to wait a while. What do you guys think they'll do? I think they're probably just going to update the grayscale, or at least I understand updating the grayscale in the Chibi Girls one, because it was kind of one of the very early grayscale books they put out. I don't really understand updating the grayscale in the Kawaii Girls, because like I said, to me it is their updated grayscale. But I don't know, they've got something up their sleeve that they're going to do. I saw that a bunch of people, like I said, they were kind of upset about it on Facebook, because those are probably some of their best-selling books. I would think. It seems like everyone has them. But yeah, I won't repurchase them unless they do something really, really drastic. I'm trying to finish the Chibi Girls grayscale book, and then I'm going to try to do all of the Kawaii one too. So I don't need to completely restart that just for new grayscale, I think. But I do want to see what they're going to do with that. I know that it's probably close to time for them to start putting out Christmas books too. And I don't know, I kind of just buy their grayscale books. I mean, I like all the books they put out, but if I bought all the books I liked from Jade Summer, I'd have way too many books, so I kind of just have to limit myself to their grayscale books. And I think starting next year, I'm going to really take it into consideration when I buy a book if it has double images. I don't ever color the double images, and I don't really have anyone that I can give them to, like I can tear them out and give them to like a sister or a cousin or anything, because I'm an only child and no one else in my family really colors. So I think, you know, next year when I buy books, if it's a book with double images, it's got to be something that I really, really want. Otherwise, I think it's more beneficial to just buy a book that has single images in it. Because like I said, I don't color the double images. I'm never going to. You know, if I could get a book that has 50 pictures that are different, or 25 pictures and they're repeated once, I'd rather have the book that has all the unique images in it. Just because, like I said, I don't know, I don't color the repeats. I don't really have a reason to. I guess if I, you know, like spilled something on one of my favorite images that I was coloring, I'd want to have a repeat of it, but I don't put drinks up on this table, you know, for that very reason. I don't eat food over any of the books for that exact reason. So I just don't have a reason to color the duplicate pages. So that's something else that I'm going to take into consideration. And probably when I'm sorting through my books, you know, if I have some double-paged ones that I haven't colored in, I'll probably go ahead and let them go too. Because I think I'd like to just start buying books that only have one copy of each image in them. I'm spending too much money on the double-page ones when I only really get 25 images rather than 50 to color, you know, because they usually cost more too. Okay. Probably go ahead and just color in this house black too. And the tree, maybe. I might do those little pumpkins in orange, but I like to color stuff black and then do like a sunset or against the moon or something, so I think that it'll look good with this picture. And this black isn't as dark as the black lines in this book, so you can actually kind of see them through it still. Sometimes the black markers are as dark as the black lines and it just kind of eats up the lines. I will say the only double-page spread books that I will continue to buy is any of Jade Summer's grayscale books, because those are my favorite books to color in. I'll allow myself to buy those, but that's it. I need to take the double page thing into consideration in the future. I think I kind of already started to do that this year without even really thinking about it. You know, I already don't really buy double page spread books because I don't color in them, because I like to use markers and you can't use markers in them. So I like went to I already looked at my Amazon page on my wish list and looked to see what I had on there that was double page and duplicate copies of images, and I asked myself if I really, really wanted that book or not. And so I did like update it and remove some of them, because there were some of them that I was like, yeah, I could live without that. Okay, let's do the leaves. She has some here too. Let's do them in a dark color though. We're gonna do this color here. Bronze green, because I think it looks kind of like a fall green color. The leaves actually started to change finally out here. I think we were maybe a little bit behind on that compared to other places. The past 2 days it kind of felt like wintertime. I think yesterday it was a high of 50 and it was foggy outside all day. You couldn't see in front of you because it was so foggy, so it felt like wintertime. It felt like we had skipped fall completely, which I like fall. It's probably one of my favorite seasons, so it'd be a little bit sad if we have a year like that again, which is kind of how last year was. It was very, very hot, and then all of a sudden it was very, very cold. But today it was like 70 something. It felt really hot compared to how it was yesterday. She's got a flower in her hair, but I don't want to do it like a bright flower color, so I might do it like yellow or something to go along with the little apple that she's got too. We're almost done with the picture. Yeah, let's do the flower yellow. And I'll do the moon yellow too, probably. Or, yeah, yellow. Sometimes I do it in a gray color, but I think yellow would be better with this picture. Okay, so the camera kind of cut off in the middle of that, and I don't know where it cut off at for sure, because I'm going to have to go back and look. But I ran out of battery. Apparently the battery on the camera is not as long as I thought it was. Or it's getting slower as the camera ages. I decided to do the moon gray. I heard the camera making the zoom in and zoom out noise that it makes when it restarts, so hopefully we didn't lose all of that. I guess we will find out. And I guess if it's lost a lot of it, then this won't be going up. But I did put the camera on the charger for a little bit. And I went and made the possum his scrambled egg. And I gave that to him. He's not awake yet, but it has to cool down anyways, so when he wakes up, his dinner is ready for him. And I made one for Bucky too, because we just had 2 eggs left. And I thought I'd go ahead and use them up, because I don't eat eggs anyways. I don't like eggs. So I scrambled one up for Bucky too. He will eat them raw, but that makes a big mess, so I just scrambled them. The possum is a lot pickier than Bucky is and will not eat them raw. He won't eat them boiled either. Actually, the only way that he will eat an egg is if I scramble it. And I just put it in the pan and scramble it. That's it. I don't use any oil. I'm going to have to use the other side of this marker because it's so dry. Yeah, no oil, no salt and pepper or anything like that, because, you know, they're animals. They can't have all that stuff. Just the egg itself. And that's the only way he'll eat it, is scrambled. I've made hard-boiled eggs before for him, and he won't eat that. I've also tried to give him raw eggs, and he doesn't like that. Bucky will eat an egg in any form you give it to him. It doesn't even have to be a chicken egg. Bucky also will eat quail eggs. The majority of my animals won't eat eggs. My littlest snake will eat eggs, but they have to be, I hard boil them and cut them up, because otherwise, you know, they're too big. The big snake will not eat them, though. I've tried. It's good to have a variety. I thought the camera just shut off again. In a diet, so I've tried to give the big snake eggs too, because we have chickens, so we have too many eggs. But he didn't want any. So I'm trying to kind of finish this fast so that I can get it done, because I just like charged the camera for a very short amount of time. I didn't want to charge it for too long, because I wanted to get this done tonight, if that makes sense. So I charged it for a pretty short amount of time. It's back to being half charged now, which seems to only last 30 minutes now. Used to last longer, but this is an old camera, so that's something that I need to do next year too, is get a new camera to film with. So yes, if there's a weird cut in the video, you know why. But I think it cut off fairly nice. I know it stopped in the middle of me talking, but I don't think it was too bad of a cut. Just my opinion. Alright, this is like a little apple charm. Like a little plastic charm, so I'm going to just color the whole thing red. And then we'll get her eyes too, which I was thinking about doing in like a bright green color. And then the stars are gonna be glittery, or some of them are. I don't know about all of them. Yeah, let's do some of them glittery and some of them regular stars. And I'm going to leave the clouds white because I always do that in my books. I never usually color the clouds. Especially if they're already on a white background. I don't really have a reason to. Because I don't think it's like a rainy day or anything in this photo, you know. I think it's just a nice normal day. So let's do a couple of the stars yellow. And I don't know about these dots that are around. I'm probably just going to leave them as is because I don't really have any ideas for them. I see that the ink kind of ran there a little bit. This paper is very slick feeling to me. Again, I haven't really colored in this book before, so... But the paper feels very slick, like it feels like, you know, like marker paper, but the image kind of ran there, so I'm not sure. Alright. Let's do the stars real quick before my camera bites it again. And if it bites it all of a sudden, well, you know what happened if I upload this video and I'm like still half coloring one of these glittery stars. That means that the camera cut out and I got frustrated and decided to just upload the video anyway. As it was, because I've been trying to film it now for a while. And I'm gonna have to open up my second package of Sparkle Pop pens soon. I am using this orange because I have pretty much depleted my gold one. I've used it so much, but stars can be orange, so otherwise I'd be making them gold. I just don't want to open up my second package yet until I'm out of all the colors, but I am almost out, so I can't keep putting it off. They're just expensive, you know, I don't want to buy more. I did buy these on sale at Hobby Lobby when they did their red tag sale. That's why I bought several packs at once. Okay, there we go. I think that looks good, and I'm pretty sure I managed to finally finish that before the camera went off. So, here is how our picture looks. We've got a little bit of glitter on there. I don't think it needs any paint. Not in my opinion, at least. But I think it looks good. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry that this color and chat was a little bit of a quiet one and a little bit of a mess. Hopefully you enjoy the upcoming video I have about the reptile show.